Hello and welcome to Quality Control. Let me go ahead and take you back to the good old year of 2001. Back when the economy wasn't shit and we considered George Bush to be an American hero. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about a movie that has traumatized me for many years now. The movie known as Interstella 5555. Let me give you a little history lesson first. This movie is by the always bizarre but mostly retarded Daft Punk, which is a techno-pop French band. For recording their first album, Discovery, they had a brilliant stroke of genius. Hey, what if we turn this album into an anime? Brilliant! So they teamed up with Toy Animation to make this mindfuck of a movie. And since it was a series of cartoon music videos, they decided to release it in pieces and air them to fucking death on MTV and Cartoon Network. And when you're in a city filled with working televisions, and you just happen to hate Daft Punk, and all the TVs happen to be tuned into either MTV or Cartoon Network, guess what? You're fucked! So let's just stop beating around the bush and dig into Interstella 5555. We start off with, holy shit! Too fast, too fast! You're gonna keep going plat if you keep this speed!
What the hell was that?
Holy fuck. So where are we going that needed us to go in such a ludicrous speed? Of course, to the concert. We don't want to miss their one song. So why are the Smurfs celebrating? Have they finally killed Gargamel? Well, like with most bad movies, we don't need anything like exposition. Who needs things like that in a story? I love that even though everybody's blue, you can still tell who the black guy is. So while everybody is staring at the band playing their bland techno song, the villain makes his move. Apparently this song is so good that it even distracts the security, the police, and even the military. Christ, what is wrong with these people? Do they all have ADD? So through the sheer incompetence of the authority on this planet, they get invaded by Nazi stormtroopers? Then one of them does this thing. Huh? That's the problem when you have alien or futuristic movies. None of the technology makes sense. So then they decide to gas everyone, including the band members. But the lead guitarist manages to escape. He didn't run far enough, apparently, because then a sniper takes him down with a bow and arrow. Ever since the sniper update came out for Team Fortress 2, everybody loves spamming the Huntsman. And with the band now unconscious, they are abducted into the Nazi ship, which leaves the planet. We cut to one of the operators who is too busy being an idiot to notice the fleet of enemy ships invading the planet, and uses his last ounce of strength to call for help. We cut to the recipient of the distress call, who happens to be washing his ship. He also is a moron. He gets so distracted by listening to Daft Punk that he drifts off of his ship without realizing it. Wow, their fans really put the Daft in Daft Punk. Recovering from his fuck-up pretty quickly, he flies back into his guitar-shaped ship and removes his spacesuit to reveal himself to be Captain EO. Boy, this movie gets better and better by the second. Lying down on his cot, the blatant visual cues suggest that he's a fan of the band that got abducted. A really, really, really big fan. Through what I can only imagine is fanboy euphoria, we get a look at Captain EO's personal fantasy, which is, more or less, incredibly creepy. Thankfully, the alarm goes off, which tells him what happened. Captain EO drives off to apprehend the enemy ship, which shows the enemy ship driving off into the Phantom Zone, apparently. But what's on the other side of the Phantom Zone? Our galaxy, of course. So the enemy ship lands on Earth, disguising itself as a 747, and unloads the band members into a warehouse. And since Captain EO is too busy writing his love letter to the band's backup guitarist, he crashes into a South American rainforest. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, when you need help of universal proportions, there's only one person to call, Captain EO. He'll be sure to get the job done right. Meanwhile, the band is being taken out of their capsules and being forced through a fashion montage, where they're being turned into human beings by altering their memories with Adobe Photoshop. Seeing as this guy obviously can't hold down a job due to his abduction tendencies, how does he get money for all this?
Welcome back, ladies and germs. It's the Maze here with you, reporting live from backstage. As you can see from the bottom of our screen, we've almost reached our goal of $7 trillion. Just make sure to keep those donations coming, people. I know you want to see humanoid aliens play music against the world for our amusement as much as I do. So be dialing, people. Operators are standing by.
Sorry about that. Must have been a technical error. Anyway, the characters get their skin changed by getting shot with a paintball gun, their clothes changed, finalizing their final changes. So now that they're all done, we've got stereotype 1, 2, 3, and 4. Seriously, why does the keyboardist have to look like he's right out of a blaxploitation movie? With the project finished, the band, being obedient and sedated, faced their abductor. Now it's time to set them up as celebrities. Through another montage, the abductor, who apparently is Ludwig von Beethoven, gets them a record deal and makes them record an album. And even though they're under mind control, they can't get a happy look on one of their faces. Come on, guys, I know you can't use your minds anymore, and probably never will, but pep it up a little bit. I mean, this movie has no dialogue and it still manages to have bad acting. So of course the band manages to be a big hit. But these guys are beyond a hit. Everyone in the fucking world loves them. They managed to make Death Clock look like some underground garage band. In the same montage, we find out the name of the band and its members, which happen to be the Crescendolls, along with Stella, Apergius, Barrel, and Octave, respectively. The names are so stupid it would be surprised if Daft Punk didn't write it. And they managed to keep performing for everybody, looking like the blandest band in existence. And is it me? Does their music sound like one riff looped over and over and over again? Sounds like it would be better for a bad video game instead of a movie. Surprisingly enough, the Crescendolls make it to the top of the charts, all over the world, like nobody else in the history of music has. Elvis who? Fuck that guy, he sucked. But one techno beat looped over and over and over again? That's brilliant. After that, we get to see the true horrors of being a celebrity. Autographs. Sign, you monkey, and make sure to make it out to Larry, or you will be beaten again. Dot that I with a heart if you know what's good for you. My God, it's so horrible. They're being tortured! Thankfully, we get a cut to a member of Organization 13, I guess, who's just wandering around looking at what else but Crescendolls stuff. Looking at it, he apparently develops Parkinson's. That was necessary. I'm sure it's foreshadowing something, but who cares at this point? So we now cut to one of the biggest concerts in history, which of course is starring the Crescendolls and no one else, because no other bands exist. And yes, even with an orchestra backing them up, they still sound like a skipping record. But what's this? Up in the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No! It's the organization member, who reveals himself to be Captain EO. He pulls the Men in Black neutralizer out of his ass and breaks the mind control spell on all the band members except for Stella. Great. He's one of those guys with a mind control fetish. Beethoven, noticing what happened, tries to do some damage control by kidnapping Stella. Again. Oh, and he sicks his guards on them, forcing Captain EO and company to flee. I wonder how the audience is taking it. Yeah, that's what I thought.